What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to JohnnyKpicks. And in this video, I'll be going over all the fights for UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Lopes. Now, first thing before we get to that, please hit that like button for me and subscribe if you are new or if you just haven't. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so you know when I put out my videos, when we go live on Wednesdays, if I do anything special, you will get notified. So that way you can watch them real quick and you can see my picks, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they're okay. We'll see. But last night was UFC Vegas 105. And yeah, we definitely had some ups and downs. I'll put it that way. Picks weren't great. Had some very horrible reads, but also had some good ones. Ended up winning somehow. 0.09 units. Still shocked I actually came out ahead on this card because it was awful. And the best part about it is we hit the easy money and the beer money parlay, which was at plus 1100 on from the Defend Your Units show. So if you haven't checked us out on Wednesday nights for Defend Your Units, definitely want to check us out. We've been hitting our parlays lately, so that's something that we can hold our hat on there. And yeah, came out. That was a big hit. Got some more beer money and needed some more beer money. Got more beer, so you'll definitely see more Miller Lite on Wednesday. But other than that, like I said, weird card. There was some really questionable fight IQ, negative fight IQ from a lot of fighters. And it felt like I bet every one of those fighters. But like I said, somehow I came out ahead. So we move on and we'll forget about this card because I came out ahead. I felt like I stole some money somehow. But let's move on to, we got 13 fights for UFC 314 this weekend. And 13 is the magic number, it seems like. But let's move on down the card and let's see about fight number one. It's going to be Nora Cornolle versus Haley Cowan. And Nora is a good striker. She's got good power in her hands. She's got good elbows in the clinch, good knees. She can wrestle and grapple if need be, but she's more so a striker. She's very aggressive on the feet, which I do like. Her takedown defense, though, isn't the greatest, but she does look to finish the fight. She doesn't look to outpoint her opponents or stall on the fence or lay and pray. She goes for the finish in every one of her fights, which I do like. Haley Cowan, though, solid striking. She does have good wrestling, but her takedowns aren't really super great. She does have to work very hard to get those. She is very strong, though, in the clinch, though. Hasn't really fought the greatest competition. She did fight Horth last time. She did lose that fight pretty convincingly. And then she hasn't fought in a while. I think, if I'm not mistaken, almost 2 years she hasn't fought. And to me, I know who the more dangerous fighter is. I know who's going to have the better striking, and I know who's going to be landing the more moments, and the fighter who is also more active, and that is going to be Nora. Pretty confident in this pick. I think she gets this one done. The only way I see Haley winning is if she gets takedowns and controls Nora for at least 2 rounds to win. But I don't even think that's going to happen. Haley is not, her striking defense isn't all that great either. I just don't think Haley is UFC level. Let's put it that way, to be nice. Nora is the better fighter, I think, on paper. I think in real life, too. But again, like I said, for last card, I felt like every fighter I felt confident in just ended up laying an egg. So, but I think Nora does get this one done. I'm going to say by decision, if there is a finish, I kind of maybe like a sneaky sub late in the fight. But I'm going to go with Nora by decision. Next one, we got Tresean Gore versus Marco Tulio. And for this one, Tresean Gore, solid striker. He's got good power in his hands. He does like to push forward. Sometimes he can be a little low volume, which is a little weird for fighters that do like to push forward. I always find that funny, but he can be a little low volume, but he does look for that KO shot, which is probably why. Apparently, he has a nasty guillotine. Weird, because he doesn't grapple and he doesn't wrestle, because he's got a guillotine against Josh Fremd and he's got a guillotine against Antonio Tricali. So two gillies in a row. Interesting, but let's see, what else do I got about him? He's not, like I said, not really a wrestler, grappler guy. He is a striker, but he just has a good guillotine, and he is hittable on the feet, but he is durable. Marco, though, well-rounded guy. He's got good striking. He's got good power in his hands. He does have good grappling. He is more so a striker as well. Okay takedowns if he does decide to use them. But I think this fight probably plays out on the feet. But I just think the fighter that's going to be landing more shots is going to be Marco. I think he's going to get this one done. I'm going to say, I don't know if it's going to be a finish for Marco. Tresean is pretty durable. I know he lost to Cody Brundage by KO, but that was a crazy, weird little left hook from Cody Brundage, and I don't know how Tresean got knocked out that bad from that shot, but it is what it is. Marco does throw heat, so maybe he can land the KO. I'm going to say by decision. I just think he's the better fighter. I think he's the better striker, and if he does mix in the wrestling, you just have to worry about not getting guillotined, and I think he wins. So give me Marco to win by decision. Pretty confident in this one as well. Yeah, I think Marco's pretty good. Next one we got is going to be Sumudaerji versus Mitch Raposo. And Sumudaerji, solid striker, good power in his hands. He throws good volume. His takedown defense is just okay. Good. He throws a lot of volume. Chin might be a little questionable at times. He can get a little wild and crazy and then leave his chin up there. Luckily for him, he's not fighting a really good striker or technical striker, I should say. Charles Johnson is pretty good. Tim Elliott, that was just a crazy little war there. Who else did he lose to? Matt Schnell, which that was a war. So that does worry me in this fight. He has been in a lot of wars. He's been knocked out a lot. But very good striker. He's not really going to wrestle or grapple. We got Mitch, who's a well-rounded guy. Okay striking, good wrestling, good takedowns, good cardio. He's durable too. A little hittable on the feet though. Not really like the greatest finisher, if you want to say. I know he's got some KOs on the regional scene as of late, but like against good competition, let's put it that way. Not really a finisher. So yeah, this is an interesting fight. Now, Mitch can definitely win this fight if he gets the wrestling going. I just don't know if he's going to be able to do it enough. And I think Sumudaerji is the better striker. I think he's more dangerous. I don't know if Sumudaerji is going to be able to knock out Mitch either. So this is a close fight. The line, I think, is a little too wide a little bit. But maybe that, I don't know. Maybe for me, it's recency bias because Sumudaerji has lost 3 times in a row. So I'm a little worried about my pick. But I'm going to pick Sumudaerji. Like I said, I do think he's the better striker. I think he's more dangerous on the feet. But if Mitch can get the wrestling going, that'll help him tremendously. And but I'm going to go Sumudaerji by decision again. I could see a KO. It would probably be early if there is a KO. But other than that, I mean, Sumudaerji is very dangerous. But he's also kill or be killed as well. So it does worry me a bit, especially with the price tag. So I'm going to go Sumudaerji again by decision, but not confident. I'm probably just going to stay away. Next one, Cedric Dumas versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And Dumas is an aggressive striker. He's got good power in his hands. He kind of throws just one shot at a time, no combos, but he's got a really long straight right down the middle, which can knock anybody out. He does have some wrestling and grappling he can use. We've seen it in some of his fights. He did win his last fight against Dennis Tululian. It was kind of a boring fight. He used his wrestling. But his cardio, he does slow down a ton. That's when he uses his wrestling. Because for whatever reason, he can't do anything on the feet. He does have some good nasty guillotine chokes and stuff. So that's something to think about in this fight because Oleksiejczuk isn't the greatest like submission defense guy, if you want to say, but he's a very good boxer. He's got good power in his hands. He likes to push forward, work the body with good combos, very durable on the feet. Like I said, his little bugaboo is the grappling situation. If he gets taken down, he could get submitted. He's got to watch out for the guillotine for Cedric's early, I would say. But if this fight gets in the round 2, I think it's Oleksiejczuk's fight all day. I think Cedric is very dangerous early, but then he's not dangerous at all in rounds 2 and 3. He kind of just survives, kind of wrestles and stalls and, but he is pretty durable. We've seen some weird fight IQ moments, especially against Josh Fremd, with not the greatest look. Cody Brundage, I mean, I know he won, but not the greatest look either. My pick, though, I'm going to go with McCall. I think he gets this one done as long as he doesn't just put his neck in guillotine situation. And I think the better striker is going to be Oleksiejczuk, but Dumas is very dangerous. But going to go with Oleksiejczuk to win. I'm going to say by KO. Second or third round, I think Oleksiejczuk can put a pace on him in the second and third rounds and maybe work the body. I don't want to say make Dumas quit in a way, but it's going to play a part there. So give me Oleksiejczuk, second or third round KO. I like that spot. Next one's going to be a fun one. Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. And we got Darren Elkins, who is a legend. He's a grinder, good wrestling, good grappling, solid takedowns, chain wrestler, if you want to say. Cardio for days. He's very durable. He does get rocked a lot, though, but he's super durable. He always shows damage on his face, hence the nickname. Striking isn't great. Not one bit, but that's not his game. His game is to outgrind you, out-wrestle you, out-grapple you, out-cardio you, and that's what I like about him. And he's always going to try to go for the submission. He's got good scrambles if he does get taken down. His takedown defense isn't great, but very good scrambles. Very hard to submit. Only been submitted once by the one and only Charles Oliveira. And I like him. Local guy made good. Right down the street. That's where he's from. Julian Erosa, though, well-rounded fighter. You know, he's got good striking. He's got good power in his hands. He does have good submissions, good wrestling and grappling, too. A lot of volume, but he does get hit a lot. But luckily for him, he's not really fighting a striker. He's fighting a guy who's going to be wrestling. Julian does like to get in brawls sometime, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of brawls because Elkins is going to be shooting takedowns. So this is the fight where do you think Julian Erosa can survive the wrestling and grappling? Erosa's takedown defense isn't all that great, but he does have good submission defense. He does have good submissions himself. If Julian Erosa keeps him on the feet, obviously he wins this fight. 100%. No doubt about it. I don't think he's going to be able to. That's the problem. So this line is crazy to me. Crazy. I mean, there's a chance Julian Erosa can knock him out early, obviously. He ain't subbing him, I'll tell you that. But Elkins is going to be in there. I think he's going to be grinding on Erosa. I think this is going to be a close decision one way or another. I'm going to go with a dog. I've been picking Elkins. I can't even remember the last time I didn't pick Elkins. Maybe it was against... I think I picked him. I picked Elkins a lot. Let's put it that way. The style always gets me. I like the style, but it's probably not going to be a good pick. But I'm going with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with Elkins, but I do think it's going to be a very close decision. I don't think Erosa is going to be able to knock out Elkins unless it's super early in the fight, and I think Elkins will be there grinding on Erosa. Up against the cage. He's going to get some takedowns, and I think he's going to control him. I think he's got the better wrestling. I think he can control him. Erosa's going to have to scramble a lot, and I don't know if he's going to be able to because Elkins can scramble as well. I don't care if he's 40 years old. This is going to be a fun fight. Looking forward to it. Give me Elkins to win by a close, maybe split decision. Next one, though, is kind of the same weird fight, though. Chase Hooper versus Jim Miller. Chase Hooper's a very good grappler. His striking is improving. He does have decent power in his hands. He can be a little wild. He's very hittable on the feet, though. He does have very good cardio, especially on the mat. Very good scrambles, very good submissions. He's a little wizard with the scrambles. It's crazy. And then we got Jim Miller, who's a junkyard dog like Elkins in a way. Well-rounded. He's got better striking than Elkins, but he's got solid striking, good power in his hands, very good submissions, good wrestling, good cardio. He's durable. I think he's 41, 42 now? 41, almost 42. Durable, can be a little hittable on the feet. I don't think this fight's going to probably play on the feet for too much. Jim Miller's probably going to want to keep it on the feet. Hooper's going to test that grappling, and every time I think Hooper is going to fail, he always wins. I think the line's a little wide still, but I do think Hooper wins this fight. I'm going to say he wins by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to submit Jim Miller. If he does, cool. How many times has Jim Miller been subbed? Once? 3 times. Okay. So, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. I think he'll out-scramble Jim Miller for sure. He's just going to be, he's younger. He's almost 20 years younger. He's going to out-scramble him. He's going to be a little bit bigger. But I do think he gets this one done by decision. Give me Chase Hooper. Unfortunately, I do like Jim Miller. Just don't think he's going to be able to get this one done. I know he did win against Damon Jackson, which I picked Jim Miller for that one, but this is a different breed. This is a different grappler. And yeah, Chase Hooper, I'm going to say by decision. Maybe Miller can knock him out. That'd be cool. All righty, next one here, which I'm a little shocked that this is on the prelims. It's not even this is a pretty important fight for the strawweight division. Virna Jandiroba versus Xiaonan. Jandiroba, very, very good grappler, very good submissions, good top control. Takedowns are just okay. But when she does get you down, you're not getting up. You're not getting up at all. Not a striker. She knows that. She can strike a little bit, but her bread and butter, she uses her striking to set up takedowns and get this fight to the mat. That's where she wants to get you. She is durable. She's got good cardio for 3 rounds to grapple and wrestle for all 3 rounds, so that's nothing to worry about there. She is hittable on the feet, which does worry me a bit because Yan Xiaonan is a very, very good striker. She's very technical. She has power in her hands. She has worked on her grappling and wrestling and takedown defense. We did see that when she fought Wei Li and also a little bit of Tabitha Ritchie. But this is just a classic grappler versus striker matchup. And if you think Jan's going to be able to stuff the takedown to keep it on the feet, then you go for Jan. But if you think Virna's going to be able to get her down at least once in 2 rounds, then Virna's your pick. And I think that's my pick. I think Virna is going to be able to get Jan down eventually. Maybe not early. Maybe not. It'll take a while. But I do think Virna, when she does get the fight to the mat, or if she takes Jan's back, I mean, Jan's not getting up. But Jan can definitely knock out Virna. She can outstrike her on the feet, but I just don't think she's going to be able to for at least 2 rounds to win. This fight, I think, goes to decision. Maybe Virna has a chance for a submission. She is very dangerous on the mat, but Jan's very dangerous on the feet. So this is a very interesting fight. Do I agree with the line? I do think it should be closer to a pick'em, but and I think probably a lot of money will be coming in on Jan until it's close to a pick'em. I'm going to wait a little bit and see where this line goes, but I'm going to pick Virna to win, and I'm also going to say by decision. This is going to be a fun fight. Looking forward to this one, and I don't know why it's in the middle of the prelims. I think this should have been on the main card. So, we'll see. All righty. Next one is the featured prelim of Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Another interesting fight. Looking forward to it. Dan Ige is a very good boxer. He's got good boxing, like I said. Good power in his hands. He does have some wrestling and grappling he can use. He does mainly want to keep it on the feet. He is a striker. His takedown defense isn't amazing. He can be controlled, but luckily he's not fighting a guy who's going to want to take this fight to the mat unless he's hurt. Or rocked or whatever, which we have seen before from Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson is also a very good boxer. He does have some decent pop in his hands, good takedown, very good takedown defense, like very good takedown defense, especially when he's up against the cage. He stays at range very well. He's got good kicks. He works the body. He can slow down a little bit with his volume as the fight goes on, but he's very hard to hit. Sometimes he does leave his head up a little bit because he is very tall. He's going to have a huge height and reach advantage of 7 inches of height and 7 inches of reach. So Sean Woodson might not look like the greatest fighter on paper or in some of his fights, but he's very, very tricky to fight against. And I'm picking him to win because he's very tricky to fight against, especially you have to out dog him and make this a fight now or a brawl. Can Dan Ige do that? Yes, he can definitely do that. But he's going to have to come in and just push forward, maybe try to work some grappling a little bit, and wear down Sean a little bit early on. Because if he keeps this fight in the middle of the ring and Sean has that range, Sean's going to outstrike Dan Ige all day. And Ige is a very good striker, but it's just that reach. Sean has a good jab. He's got some good elbows in the clinch too. He's got good kicks. He's got long legs. He can kick anybody from across the ring. So gonna go with Woodson by decision. That's how he wins. If you pick Woodson, you just pick by decision. I mean, you don't have to worry too much about that. I don't think he's gonna be able to knock out Ige. Ige's tough as hell. Ige, I think he's gonna have to get a KO. Now that's possible. He just has to make this a brawl. He's gonna always have to. He's gonna have to eat some shots to give some shots. But it's gonna be a tough fight for Ige. You never want to count him out. But Woodson wins this fight. I think he wins it by decision, probably 29-28. Next one, fun fight. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. And we got Krylov, who's a well-rounded fighter. He's got solid wrestling and striking. Likes to push forward. He can be a little hittable. He gets a little too wild at times. Red flag for me, though, right here. 2 years. Hasn't fought in 2 years. I don't know if it's injuries. Probably there's an injury because there's no reason for him not to fight in 2 years other than that. So that does worry me a lot. And I'm surprised he's this big of a favorite against Dominic Reyes. And we all know Dominic Reyes. He's had his little moments back in the day. He's got knocked out 3 times in a row. Seemed like his chin was gone. But he's got very good striking. He's powerful. He's dangerous. He does have some decent grappling and wrestling to keep himself up if Nikita tries to go for some wrestling. But he's a striker first. He's going to go for the finish. That's his style. He can be a little hittable, which does worry me still a little bit. But it's been a while. It's been 2.5 years since that crazy knockout. And he came back and knocked out just Dustin Jacoby, which isn't a easy thing to do. Dustin is usually really durable. And then he knocked out Anthony Smith. Okay. I think this line's wide. And I'm worried for Nikita's 2-year layoff, and I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes. I think this fight, if you want to bet it, I think the safe bet here is the unders. Probably under 2.5 would be a little safer. It's probably going to be set at 1.5. So I hate betting under 1.5s, but if the minus 2.5 is decent enough to throw in a parlay, I think that's safe. Both guys try to go for the finish, and both have been finished before, but obviously. But I like Reyes. I don't know. I think he can land a bomb on Nikita. I don't like Nikita's striking defense. He's going to be a little rusty, I think. Maybe the cardio isn't going to be all there because 2 years off. He hasn't been in the ring. He's not very active. He is 32, but you know, I'm taking a shot. I think the line is a little wide. Taking a shot on Dominic Reyes, going with the gut. I think Dominic is going to make a pretty decent run. I don't know if he's going to get to the top again like he was until those 3 losses, but I think he can make a pretty decent run, and I think he's going to win. I'm going to say by KO in the second round. I think he lands a bomb. I like it. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I like it. Next one, Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. And we got Yair, very, very good striker, great kicks, unorthodox style, so he's a little tricky. Good power in his hands as well. He's always dangerous. The only thing with him is his takedown defense isn't the greatest. He kind of does slow down a little bit as the fight goes on. He does have decent grappling, but he does struggle against really, really good wrestler grapplers, which I don't think Pitbull is a really, really good wrestler grappler, but he can wrestle. So that does worry me a bit in this one. So Patricio, though, well-rounded guy, making his UFC debut technically, but we all know him from Bellator. He used to be a champion there for a while. He does have good striking, good power in his hands. He does have wrestling and grappling that he can use. Like I said, he's very durable, good cardio, likes to push forward. He kind of reminds me of Volkanovski, like the style. I know he's a little shorter, but that's his style. And he's not afraid to get into a brawl. You know, he has been knocked out and looked kind of bad in the Sergio Pettis. I was there. He looked bad in that fight. Whew. Terrible. And he was a big favorite. And he got knocked out in the next fight and Risen. And then he won in Bellator. So, yeah, this is interesting. I'm going with Yair as my pick. I'm not very confident, obviously, because I'm struggling to even say it. I just think the length and the height is going to play a good advantage for Yair. He's going to be 5 inches taller, about 4.5 inches of reach. I like the kicks. Is going to keep Patricio guessing. Patricio needs to get some wrestling going. Otherwise, it might be a long night for him. I would look at the overs in this fight. I don't know if Yair is going to be able to knock out Patricio, but Patricio is 47 years old, 37, almost 38. He's been knocked out, hasn't been looking all that great. I know he won his last fight against Jamie Kennedy, or is it Jamie Kennedy? Jeremy, not Jeremy. Sorry, Jeremy Kennedy. But that's Bellator. That's Bellator. Come on, guys. This UFC and Bellator is completely two different worlds. Not to say Patricio's bad, but this is going to be a step up for him. Good fight. I'm interested. But give me Yair to win. I'm going to say by decision, but I can see a finish too. Late finish, maybe. Maybe you can look at the Patricio plus 3.5 spread too. See what that's at. I think he wins one round. I just don't know if he's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to win. So yeah, Rodriguez by decision. Yeah. Next one. Oof. Poor Bryce. We have Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. And we got Bryce Mitchell is a very good wrestler, very good grappler. He's got good submissions when he's on the mat. His striking isn't great. He's very hittable on the feet. But his game plan is to get this fight to the mat. He's got good cardio. He almost died against Josh Emmett, who we all remember. And then he destroyed Kron Gracie, which is the biggest step down ever that I can think of. I don't know a bigger step down from Josh Emmett to Kron Gracie. And then a big step up to Gene Silva. He is riding the roller coaster, but I get it. I know they probably want to throw him a little bit of softball because he did look real bad in that knockout against Josh Emmett. But then we got Gene Silva, who just fought recently. He's a very powerful striker, good, very technical. He throws a lot of volume. He can be a little hittable sometimes, but he does have good head movement, good striking defense, good takedown defense. He can grapple, but he does want to strike. And he probably wants to strike in this fight and keep it on the feet. He's going to have a huge advantage on the feet. And Mitchell, I mean, we have seen Gene Silva get taken down a couple times. Who was it against? I'm trying to think. Who am I thinking it was? Maybe it was against Charles Jourdain. Somebody was able to take him down. I can't remember it now off the top of my head. But that's the only worry for me. Otherwise, Gene Silva is the biggest probably lock of the card. But the reason why he's not a lock is because Bryce can get some takedowns if Gene gets a little crazy, which I don't think he will. He's very precise. He's very patient. And then I'm also going to say over under 4.5 glove touches. I don't know if Bryce will touch his glove during the fight. That's interesting. I'm going to go with the under after that, saying that. But anyways, give me Silva to win. I'm going to say by knockout. I think he finds the chin. Second round. I think Mitchell can maybe stall, maybe get one takedown in round one. But once round two hits, I think it's over. I think Gene will realize it's time to start stepping it up and get that KO. And I think he will. Gene Silva, round 2 KO. Sorry, Bryce. I think you lose. Co-main event, we got Michael Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. We all know these guys. Michael Chandler, well-rounded guy, powerful striker, very explosive early, good takedowns. Can't control anybody once he gets the fight to the mat, though. Fight IQ is questionable, and the reason why I say that fight IQ is questionable is he literally wants to put on a show. He'll do anything to put on a show, whether it's him to knock out Tony Ferguson with a front kick, or whether it's to try to jump a guillotine when it's a very close fight and then lose position and then lose that way, because he wants to make a fight exciting. He wants to win by a finish and get the crowd going, whether he wins or loses. And I get it, but I hate it at the same time, because he just doesn't. I feel like he's just like Kevin Holland in a way. He's a prize fighter. But it is what it is. But he's a very good fighter. I mean, his last fight, he didn't fight in a while until he fought Charles Oliveira. And basically Oliveira was able to control him on the mat. What does Paddy do? Very good grappler. He's very durable on the feet. He does have some power in his hands. He's not the most technical striker. Amazing submissions, though. And if he gets you on the mat, you're not getting up. And here's the thing. That's the problem. Michael Chandler does have decent takedown defense, but Paddy is a little bit bigger than Charles Oliveira. He's a little bit stronger as well. The grappling is, pretty similar. I would say Oliveira's a little better, but Paddy's very good. And I think he's always going to be underrated. People are not going to like people just don't like Paddy, or they love him. They love or hate him. I'm biased. I'm either way. I don't care. I know what he's good at, grappling. What's Chandler not great at? Stuffing takedowns and he's always controlled when he gets on the mat. Give me Paddy to win. I don't know if he's going to be able to sub him, but I'm going to go with sub. I'm going to go round 2 or 3 sub. I think round 1 will be fun. Maybe Chandler lands some good moments, but as the fight goes on, I think Paddy's going to get those takedowns a little easier. Maybe Chandler is a little too aggressive and tries some spinning back kick and falls to the mat, and that costs him the fight. Like, I could totally see that happening. And Paddy jumps on him and maybe gets a guillotine or head and arm choke or something stupid like that. But give me Paddy to win. I'm going to say 2nd or 3rd round sub. I think he gets it done. And we have the main event of Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. And we know Alexander, he's a well-rounded guy. He's great everywhere. The only thing that I always had a little critique about him is he's not a finisher. He doesn't finish anybody. But he's very good. Normally durable. Unfortunately for him, he's been knocked out in his last 2 fights. That worries me because Diego is very explosive. He's got very good striking. He's got very good grappling, amazing submissions. He's just dangerous everywhere. He can be a little hittable on the feet, but he's very durable. I don't really think Volkanovski's going to be able to knock him out. Alexander's going to have to fight very, very smart to win this fight, which I do think he can. And he's got to be safe, and he can't get his chin rocked. That's what worries me. This is a 5-round fight. Diego's going to be dangerous anywhere this fight takes place. And I just don't know if Alexander will be able to not get clipped or subbed, club and subbed or something like that. So give me Lopes to win. I'm going to say he does find a finish maybe in round 2 or 3. Volkanovski. The Ilya fight, man, that woke me up a little bit. I mean, I picked Ilya to win, but like I didn't think Ilya would win in that way. And not to say that Diego Lopes is Ilya by any means, but man, he's just as dangerous. Let's be honest. And I don't know if Alexander's chin's going to hold up. I really don't. How long ago was this? It was a year. Okay. But Diego throws heat. Gotta go Diego. As an underdog too, it's tough not to. But I get it. I think if Volkanovski wins, he probably wins by decision. So if you want to do that bet or like round 4 or 5 decision, just to be a little safe, I think Diego wins inside the distance, or you can just bet the money line at plus 125. That's not bad either. I think he wins. I think he's the new, if you want to say, champion. But all right, guys, that is it. That is all 13 fights for UFC 314. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And on your way out, please hit that like button and subscribe. Leave some comments below on your favorite fights you're looking forward to, on the picks that you disagree with me with. Why not? I'm okay. My picks the last like 3 or 4 cards have been up and down. So you can disagree with me all you want. I'll leave some comments below with you. I always respond to everyone, so leave it there. Also, check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/JohnnyKpicks. You can find all my early UFC content, my early bets, my cheat sheets, my UFC cheat sheets, UFC survivor pools. If you're interested in that, it's free. Just you can become a member or support my channel for $5.99 a month. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Also, Wednesday night, defend your units, and guess what? We're going to do the easy money and beer money parlay. So you definitely want to join up. Participate in chat. I'm going to have another guest on. We're going to hit it again. This will be number 3 weeks in a row once we hit it. And then let's get that beer money parlay again, because that was fun. Plus 1,100 all day. Let's do it. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Again, appreciate you watching. See you next time. Good luck with your picks. Good luck with your bets. Happy fight night.